let's talk about the double-slit experiment. If you already know this, fine. We're going to talk about some new interpretations. Okay, hope you enjoy. Okay, let's get started. Of course, there are two slits, and on the left, we fire an electron. And it goes through the two slits and hit the screen, okay? So basically, the electron is a wave. So at the screen, it will split into two waves. Then the two waves will interfere with each other. So on the screen, we see an interference pattern. Okay, this is the interference pattern because there are two multiple stripes. And you may say, wait a second, there are the dots. So the electron is basically a dot hitting the screen. If it is a dot, why you're talking about like a wave? Well, maybe if it's a dot, we should be able to tell which slit the dot goes through. Okay, so if we put a detector here, unfortunately, the screen will show two bands, not an interference pattern anymore. Okay, so the explanation is that if we detect the electron on the screen, because the screen is a detector, it's a detecting device, okay? Then before the screen is a wave, so it can do this kind of interference pattern whatsoever. And on the screen, we see dots because we detected the electron's location, okay? If we detect the electron's location at the two slits, then the electron's position is kind of localized to the region of the slit, okay? So on the screen, when we detect the exact location of the electron again, we will see two bands. So basically, that's the measurement effect. And, it's also called the observer effect. And I argue that it's not the measurement that made the difference. I think it's the information. Let's explain it later. There's another experiment called delayed choice quantum eraser. Okay, so which it means is that after the electron hit the screen, okay, then there's a smart way to derive the information of which slit the electron went through. Okay, so if we do this delayed measurement, we will see two bands. Okay, no interference pattern. But if we do this delayed measurement, then even later we possibly erase the information. If we erase the information, we see the interference pattern again. Okay, so again, there's delayed choice, meaning that after the electron hit the screen, we then make a decision of whether to derive the information of which slit the electron went through. But even after that, we may possibly erase the information. Okay, so if we erase the information, we see the interference pattern. If we don't, we see two bands, which is super weird, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. The information is the key. It's not the measurement itself. You may make a measurement, but you throw the measurement result away without messing around the real world, so that the information is completely gone. Okay, it's no way to recover the information anymore. Then there's interference pattern. So there are even crazier explanations. For example, like the detection results are in superposition. Superposition means that, for example, the electron, if we don't measure the electron's position, the electron goes through two slits at the same time. Okay, so basically it means that the electron is at superposition on the two slits. It's everywhere. Okay. And there are people saying that, okay, maybe the detection results are in superposition and they are entangled. Before your consciousness look at them, in a sense that they made a real impact on the world, so that it's not neglectable by your consciousness, then the superposition resolves, the wave function collapses, and you see this kind of coherent result, but mind-boggling result. Well, that's another explanation. A more crazier explanation is that the experiment and the experimenter are entangled. Well, we're going to talk about those explanations later, but what I'm trying to say is that first, information is the key. It's not about measurement. Second, there are a lot of explanations trying to make sense of the double-slit experiment, and people are still publishing papers on that. Okay, human beings have not understood this kind of problem.